Thank you, Evan. Well, taking a look at 4 different cameras from across our viewing area this evening. You can see the sun starting to come out in some spots. The rain starting to kind of pick up in others, and we have an accident in one area. So just know that's kind of a mixed bag that we're dealing with. Wind, that's no joke. I'm going to talk about restrictions we're seeing, but first let's start with the crash this evening. This is in Chesapeake, right at the high-rise bridge. This is a disabled tractor trailer. VDOT calling this a crash. I'd call this a disabled tractor trailer. You can kind of see the remnants of the tractor trailer here with the hood popped. Just know they've closed that one lane. It's causing everyone to condense because this is where those HOV lanes now are. So this non-express lanes, express lanes here. That's why we're seeing different forms of movement. These are people who are not paying a toll. These are people who are. So just know the people who aren't paying the toll are paying the price with delays this afternoon. So be ready for that on the high-rise bridge. Again, that is the inner loop where we're seeing the main delays as you're approaching that 464 split. Rain is starting to pick up on our cameras. Nothing crazy, okay? It's just damp out there. It's wet, but the wind is what I'm concerned about this afternoon. As you're stepping out the door, just know wind is a problem for us along our entire viewing area, but especially those bridges. The Maunder-Merrimack Bridge Tunnel. This is the start of the Maunder-Merrimack Bridge Tunnel. Also the HRBT seeing some wind. James River Bridge still under a wind restriction or a wind advisory, and we are into level 2 wind restriction right now at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. Basically, if you're towing anything, it's an absolute no-go for you, or if you're a motorcyclist, because we are now at a level 2 with gusts up to 40 miles an hour. We are also at a max speed of 45 miles per hour. Dan?
Bethany, great to see you. Thanks for coming in tonight. You can catch her traffic reports any morning on Daybreak. We are keeping a close eye on the communities under a tornado watch. Emily Harrison continues our live team coverage in Hampton. And Emily, what are you seeing out there right now?
You know, really in the past half hour or so, just like Bethany has said, the rain is just starting to come into the city of Hampton. But at the same time, it seems like the wind is really starting to die down. But regardless of what weather we're seeing in Hampton, city leaders tell me that they're prepared for whatever storm the storm could bring to the city. All across Hampton Roads, city leaders are issuing warnings for residents to stay inside if they can, as Hampton Roads is under a tornado watch. In Hampton, Robin McCormick, a spokeswoman with the city of Hampton, says crews are already working on cleaning storm drains and ditches in preparation for the storm, saying in a statement, quote, "The potential for high winds and additional rain on still wet areas is concerning, and we are keeping an eye on that." For those who live closer to Buckrow Beach, residents say they are making their own preparations.
We would go down into we've got a little room down at the bottom of our garage, and we'd probably go down there if the tornado came.
Further south, crews are also on standby. Bob Geis, deputy city manager for Chesapeake, says Chesapeake police and fire are ready to respond.
We do have kind of a standard cadre of folks, but depending on the severity, we'll have more folks available. But our police and fire are on standby. They usually are eyes and ears as well out there, so we get a pretty good indication of how things are going.
City representatives from Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Suffolk also say they are keeping an eye on the storm and will respond as necessary to any impacts. And all across the board, city leaders tell me that if a person comes across an emergency, they should, of course, call 911. But for all other matters, you really should be calling the non-emergency line. Live in Hampton, I'm Emily Harrison, 13 News Now.
Emily, thanks. You can get all the latest weather alerts as soon as they happen with the 13 News Now app. Scan this QR code to download it for free. And we'll continue to track the storm as that tornado watch is still in effect in Hampton Roads.